All right, Larry Krueger here from the Krug Show. The Dodgers get Ohtani. Of course they do. Doesn't go to Toronto, doesn't come to the Giants. He goes to the Dodgers. $700 million. Once again, the Dodgers get their guy. I mean, as a Giants fan, I can't even tell you how annoyed I am right now. Not that Ohtani is like the holy grail or you got to have Ohtani or you're not going to win anything. But how many times can the Giants be in the mix and just come up short again and again and again and again? You own your own ballpark. All we heard in the 80s and 90s was that the Giants someday, if they could just get their own ballpark, they would be able to compete with the big boys at the very top of MLB for the best, for the best talent, and that they just couldn't do it because they were in San Francisco and they didn't have their own ballpark, and they didn't have a ballpark that minted money, and so they just couldn't compete and they couldn't do it, and they just couldn't compete with the Dodgers. They can't compete with the Yankees. You own your goddamn ballpark. You own the park. You have no mortgage. Every penny that comes across that park, every churro, every beer, every souvenir, everything goes right into your pocket. You are rich. Act like it. Win a bid. Get a couple players. Compete for the best players. Now I'm just starting to think that was just a big money grab. It's like, my God. I had to hear throughout the 70s and the 80s, well, the Dodgers draw $3 million, and the Dodgers are this, and the Dodgers are that. But once we get our own ballpark, we'll be on the same level as the Dodgers. You've owned your own ballpark for 25 freaking years. When are you going to compete with the Dodgers? When are you going to compete? The Dodgers own the NL West. Now you got the Diamondbacks going to the World Series. You got the Padres, who have far more talent. And here are the lowly Giants, with picking up Dalton Jeffries and, Shoot Shugo and all these guys that just are not. Why even bother? What's the purpose? Why even have these secondary moves? Compete for the top talent. And if Farhan can't do it, then get somebody in there who can. I'm annoyed as hell. I'm tired of hearing about the Giants and what they can do. Get somebody in there that's a deal maker and make deals. Land a top free agent. If the ballpark is the wrong configuration, then change the goddamn configuration. What is it going to take before the Giants actually can compete with the Dodgers? How much do you get to have your nose dragged through the dirt year after year as a second-class citizen in the NL West, letting them just commandeer this division year after year after year after year? They have a way better farm system. Why? They sign free agents at a way better clip. Why? I'd love to know. The Giants own their own ballpark. They're minting money. They're rich. Get a deal maker in there. Get the right manager. Get the right general manager. Spend the right amount of money. Land somebody. Do something. Instead, it's Dalton Jeffries and Shoot Shugo and this dumpster diving and Farhan with his flea market approach to building. The guy's been the GM for 5 years. He hasn't made one good goddamn trade. Seriously, when are they going to get off their asses and start acting like the incredibly rich franchise that they are? Shame on Charles Johnson. Shame on Greg Johnson. Shame on Larry Baer. Shame on Farhan. What the hell? How many years are Giants fans going to be told, you know what? No, it's not your time. You own your own ballpark. You've paid off the ballpark. Every penny that you make on this ballpark, you're putting into your pocket. You are rich. You are rich. And yet the Padres make moves that you can only dream of. The Diamondbacks are in the World Series. And you're picking up pitchers coming off of ACLs and nobody hitters that were basically play. I mean, they just picked up a hitter yesterday who the Rangers cut loose in June and played independent ball. They just picked up an independent ball outfielder slash first baseman slash third baseman. For what? For what? Why? Why would you do that? What is that guy going to do other than just clog everything up for your young players? He can play third. I don't want him playing third. I want Casey Schmidt playing third. You know, it's like I mean, if you're a Giants fan right now, you got to be sitting there going, what are you doing? Why should I invest in tickets? Why should I invest in this club? I mean, they're in a sad, sad state right now. I mean, luckily, Boch and Sabian gave you 3 World Series titles. Otherwise, you got nothing. The Dodgers are owning you in this division. Their farm system is always better than yours. They're they always land the free agents. You don't. You're acting like you're poor. You're not. You're rich. How long is this charade supposed to last? I mean, this is so embarrassing. If you're a Giants fan, how many years are you going to let LA dominate your ass before you're going to get up, have some personal pride, spend some money, develop a farm system, spend on free agents, and compete? Compete to win a title. There's a lot of options that people have for their disposable income. They don't have to. It's not like Giants tickets are like air or water. We don't need it. We really don't. It's very easy in the Bay Area to go find other things to spend your money on. When are the Giants going to stop being Mickey Mouse and start actually competing for the top talent in the world? In the amateur draft, in the international market, and on the free agent market. I was told in the 80s and 90s that they just needed their own ballpark. In 2000, they got that ballpark. Then it was like, well, you know what? We won't be able to really compete till we pay off our mortgage. The mortgage is paid off. Spend money. Get a deal maker. Think big. Compete. Right now the Giants are embarrassing. And I'm saying they need to go get Bellinger and Hoskins and Yamamoto. In reality, as a Giants fan, I don't really believe they'll get any of those guys. And neither do you. No Giants fans sitting there going, yep, they're going to get Bellinger, they're going to get Hoskins, they're going to get Yamamoto. Today we're in the middle of December. Get off your asses and build a freaking team. You find players in the minor leagues, compete for the top international talent, compete for the top free agents, and don't just compete nominally, get it done. I can't even tell you how frustrating it is to be in this division with the Dodgers and watch them year after year after year. They beat you in the international market. They beat you in the amateur draft. They beat you in free agency. And then the season starts, and guess what happens? They beat you in the division. And you're supposedly rich. You're an iconic franchise. You're a storied franchise. The Giants leadership, Giants ownership, Farhan, these guys should be embarrassed at this point. What do you do? What have you done? What exactly? What's Farhan's best move? They should have fired his ass and moved on to a deal maker, somebody who could get it done. I'm sick of watching this. They were not just a bad team this year, they were fucking boring. Compete. C-O-M-P-E-T-E. Compete. Farhan, compete. Larry Baer, compete. Charles Johnson, compete. You're getting your asses kicked.